Your opponent until this week. I mean, how's that been for you preparing for really the unknown?
It's not bad, man, because how I look at it is I'm so early on in my career. So being early on in the career, you have to train every aspect. If I came out there and said, okay, I have an opponent and I trained specifically for this opponent, I won't be getting better. I want to get better overall.
Okay.
And that's the one reason why I kind of tell my coaches and my manager, hey, let's not even bring the opponent to me until you guys have it set. Don't start throwing names out. So I didn't even know any names that were thrown out.
He was off your radar.
Yeah,
Whoever, maybe.
Yeah, and then when they came, they said, okay, this is it. And then I went online, saw him, okay, that's the guy. I looked at a couple of his fights, but you know, it got close to the fight, and I was like, any word yet?
Yeah, what's going on?
But you know, at the end of the day, you got to train. I've been training for a year and a half, so I have to train more.
Well, and we know you're in great shape, obviously, from wrestling and everything. How do you prepare for a guy? I mean, I don't know his stats specifically, but what's his about 6'10", is that right?
Something like that.
I mean, you know, I've been up to the Coconut Creek facility, seen a lot of the guys. Not a lot of heavyweights. I mean, who are you? Is there anyone out there that's matching up with you, sparring with you, rolling with you to help you prepare for a guy his stature?
Oh, as tall as him?
Yeah.
It's not very many people as tall as him. You know, I just aim for the throat.
Okay, so that's what you're going for. You want shows. All right.
You know, somebody as tall as him, you still have to do the same way.
Okay.
There's some guys that I have, because I have an ATT gym in Denver, so I bring some guys that are a little taller that can spar, or I can feel the long arms and everything like that. But getting inside, I've been working with Laborio down here, and Laborio is a master at the game. So he said, okay, you know, he had some game plans, he had some things to work on.
But has he had you toe-to-toe with anyone? I mean, that height with that reach advantage?
No.
But you're not concerned?
No. I had one of my opponents stand on a punching bag to kind of give him the elevation.
Okay.
And I just swung a punch at his throat.
Okay. And what are you training style-wise? I mean, I'm guessing with Laborio, it's going to be jiu-jitsu on the ground. I know you're a wrestler by trade, but are you into jiu-jitsu at all? Or?
Of course, man. I kind of want to. When I finish fighting, I want to be able to teach fighting.
Really?
So,
Great.
I've been working with Howard Davis, great boxing coach. I've been working with my boxing coach back in Denver. His name is Mike Robles. Lorenzo Borromeo, he works in my gym up there. He's a great Muay Thai guy. Laborio down here, Dan Lambert. There's just so many people that.
So you're rounded. You're not focusing on one discipline.
No,
you're trying to do it all.
I got to learn it all.
Excellent.
And everybody has their own style, so it's good to go from different jiu-jitsu guy and learn his style, and then a different boxing coach and learn his style. So I've been trying to learn everything that I can.
Great. You have some questions?
Yeah, I got a wrestling question for you.
Yeah.
How do you see mixed martial arts influencing the style of wrestling? And a lot of people have said like a natural progression of the pro wrestling style, take it to the next level, would be incorporating a more realistic mat-based style. How do you see that really? Do you see that happening, or do you think it's?
I think they're both going to complement each other. I know a lot of MMA fans are going to hate this, but I think they're going to complement each other, because this is one thing. MMA is going to learn the entertainment aspect of it. You know, at the end of the day, people want to come see a fight to be entertained. They don't want to just come see a fight because it's two people fight. They want to be entertained.
You got to care.
So and the show's already coming out with some of the entrances now. Some people coming out with different personalities, trash talking online. That part of it is going to come out because that brings people in. But I think what wrestling is going to get from MMA is, I think that they're going to have to step up their game a little bit in professional wrestling. You can't just have the show and have anything happen. It's got to be more realistic. Today is a day of reality TV, fighting, and everything else is going on. So I think that professional wrestling is going to have to step up their game and be more realistic. You can't have somebody that doesn't look like they can fight and kill everybody on the roster.
Yep.
They actually have to be legitimate athletes, be legitimate fighters, and then be more reality based.
Who do you see in the MMA world that could have a life in the pro wrestling world after?
Sims.
Yeah.
I saw a couple of his interviews. I don't know him personally, but I saw a couple of his interviews, and I was watching it with a couple of people, and everybody had a comment on him within the first 5 seconds they were talking. So
definitely a personality.
Yeah, he's definitely a personality. Rampage has a great personality. You know, I think so many people do. Right now, MMA has kind of changed. A lot of the guys sit back and be quiet. No, I wouldn't say, hey, move them over, but some of the people that I saw that had a lot of personality, Dan Hardy had a lot of personality in his last fight. Let's see, some of the guys here. Brett Rogers has King Mo.
Oh, yeah. Baroni.
Even your BJ Penn. it's not so much they have to be like, let me tell you something, brother. It ain't like they don't need that. It's just that they have a presence, and a lot of these guys have a presence when they walk out there. Some of the guys walking there stagnant, they don't have any kind of personality or any presence. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
There's a lot of guys that have a lot of personality without even saying anything.
Sure.
So I can sit here and name probably about 20, 30 guys right off the top of my head.
What about, sorry to interrupt, what do you think about the idea of Shane McMahon getting into the MMA world? Maybe with Strikeforce or UFC, you think he's got...
Interesting. I know Shane McMahon, he has a lot of respect for the sport. I mean, I think he's been working jiu-jitsu for years, because when I was in WWE, we used to have talks about different fights. He's been a big fight fan. He's not going to do anything harmful to the sport. I think he's going to bring a lot of benefit to the sport, because he knows how to, he's been there firsthand with a company that's gone global.
That's right.
And it's a huge fan. So whatever organization he goes with, he's going to make it bigger and better. I know that without a shadow of a doubt. The guy is a genius. His dad's a genius when it comes to the entertainment. So if he comes to MMA, it's only a positive.
What impact does Saturday night have on your career choice? I mean, we know you're kind of, right now, you're wrestling still, correct, as well as fighting MMA. Is this going to determine which path you go, how things turn out on Saturday night?
Oh, yeah.
Or are you committed to one path or the other?
No, I'm committed to fighting, but I mean, this weekend it's going to have a huge impact on what I do overall, because if I go out there and bash this guy really quick, then the fans are going to be like, he's got to fight Fedor next. Or I go out there and have a fight like I had with Guido, which I apologize for that. That was a horrible fight, horrible outing for me, but I learned from it. If I have an outing like that, they're going to be like, oh, okay, well maybe he should fight Johan Banks next, or fight somebody else to keep building. So, you know,
but does wrestling fit into that path? I mean, do you still see yourself staying with wrestling, or does it depend, regardless of how that Saturday turns out?
Yeah, just as long as we can work it out.
Okay. Is there anything contractually that prevents you from one or the other, or it's too independent?
Too independent.
You're your man, you what you want.
Yeah. And no one's really said anything on either side. They've been both helpful and complimenting each other. But I think the one thing is if I don't have a good outing here, maybe Scott Coker might send me back and say, hey, maybe you need to focus on fighting a little bit more if you want to stay in this organization, which I have to understand. Or maybe if I'm not there enough in professional wrestling, they might say, hey, do you want to stay here or do you want to go do that? You know, there's going to be a decision that's going to probably need to be made sometime, but it's not going to be by me. I think it's going to be by one of them. Yeah, they're going to have to pull me aside.
So you're happy doing what you're doing?
I'm happy doing it.
You can handle it? The training's not too intense for you?
Yeah, my wrestling obligation is only like 5 days a month, so that's easier than a full-time job. So yeah, it's like I go on a Sunday or a Saturday night, and I do a show Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then I go home for 3 weeks, and I come back and I do a Monday, Tuesday. So people act like it's still professional wrestling.
Your part-time.
Yeah, it's not even a part-time job. Man. I mean, if I can stay there for, if I can go wrestle for 5 days a week, still give back to the wrestling fans that I kind of took off from and snap a finger when I left the WWE, and come back and get back to them. But then I have 25 other days to train solely on MMA. And the good thing is that we do it in Orlando, and I train in Coconut Creek, so it's only 3 hours away. So I fly in there and drive right down to train. It's not bad at all.
Have you relocated here permanently to Florida?
No,
or you still in Colorado?
I live in Colorado still. I might end up buying a townhouse down here because I'm here so much, staying at a hotel. Yeah, the market's right, and it's Florida, man. So I might buy a little place down here so I can stay here part-time and then go back and forth.
Awesome. We appreciate the time, Bobby. Be rooting for you on Saturday.
Cool, man. I appreciate it.
Can I ask one last question?
Yeah.
How much do you think your success and the name you built in wrestling has opened doors for you in MMA? Do you think you'd be in the same position if you hadn't had that?
It has its pros and its cons. I think that the pros is that I can go to some of these organizations, and I'm bringing a bigger fan base into it. Because people already know me from wrestling, and a lot of the wrestling fans are going to come over. The cons is people expect me to, right off the bat, okay, oh, Bobby's fighting now, put him against Fedor, put him against this guy.
Right.
Come on, man. I'm 4 fights into it. I have to build the same way everybody else is. If you go to some of the great fighters right now, look at their record, and look at their 4th fight, you're going to be like, wow, he's fighting a guy that was 1 in 35, but we want Bobby to fight Fedor after his 4th fight.
Yeah.
Come on, you know. It's you take your pros with cons. But you know, I have wrestling experience and I have a wrestling background, and I think I'm gonna start smashing a lot of these guys. So they're gonna demand more out of me anyway. So it's good and bad.
All right.